What is up, good people? Alrighty, alright, let's see. Bum 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 bum. Making sure it all connects. What is up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me, and we'll hang out for a little bit, talk some claims. We'll talk about our BDD course for our active duty people, and we will talk maybe some CMPs. But yeah, hanging out for a little bit. Hung out last night, so popping in for a bit tonight as well, and see who we have pop in. But let me know your branch of service, my brother. Let me know the branch of service you were in. Let me know the years that you served. I always like to know that because I think it's pretty cool to be tracking on that. Um, but yeah, what's up, Hiram? How are you? Hope everybody's well as we come into Thursday. We had class yesterday, so after class I went live, and then here we are today, um, post live. So yesterday was pretty long, but all good. What's this? What's this? Catching up on all the messages and all the stuff. Let's see. Bum 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 bum. Make sure everything's connected. But what's up to YouTube people, our TikTok folks, Instagram folks, and Facebook and Twitter? Hope everybody's well this evening. What are y'all up to? Do a quick walkthrough of our BDD course that we have. Let some people kind of tune in as the system does all that stuff. But yeah, hanging out for a little bit. Pretty busy week to say the least. So pretty happy and glad that we got our course up and running. So those that had the course before, we relaunched our navigating BDD claims to ace your BDD claim. So happy that we got that done and that's running up. So that's for sure. Um, Let me see. I mentioned I saw two TikTok claim guys now want to. Yeah, that's like the whole new thing now. So you got people instead of meeting people where they're at, which is actually a good segue. So there's a course, right? I don't think everybody needs all the services that are out there, right? Your active duty. Maybe what you need is just the what you call it, a course, right, or a class. But there is this new breed of people who now what they do is they come on here and all they do is talk about why everybody else sucks and why their stuff is the best, and they don't charge on the back end. They charge you up front, which is kind of funky because I've seen a lot of people who've used those services and they come over and they're like, yeah, I got. I paid up front and I didn't win my claim and I didn't really get the help that I thought I was gonna get. It sounded good until I got it, and it was what it wasn't. So I think that's kind of interesting for sure. As far as the hypocrisy. So yeah, there definitely is hypocrisy, but I do like the fact that the Choice Act that we support actually speaks out against that. So the Choice Act, which is an upgrade from the Plus Act, this legislation that passed the House is going to the full House now, got marked up, which we're supporting. They what's up, Jay? They it specifically states in that legislation that companies that do the whole charge up front thing are no go. Like even lawyers, they don't charge unless you win. So this whole upfront fee, at whatever the prices are pretty astronomical sometimes. And again, without the vested interest of winning or anything like that. So it gets pretty funky how that works out. But hypocrisy is definitely a word that I would use for sure. Um, let's see, camera. It's a Sony, a 6100. which is funny because I actually had to get another one because I thought the first one wasn't working, but then it was actually not the camera, but um, it was actually the whatchamacallit, cable that wasn't working. Someone asked, "What's camera do I use?" Shout out to you, Jay. For those tuning on in, let me know the branch of service that you were in. We're on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter. My brother Hiram, who actually used to work for me back in the day, funny, he brings up some of these talking heads, and there's some real good ones out here for sure. So I like what people are doing. I don't like some of the stuff that some of these faddish companies wannabe talking heads are doing. Hypocrisy, charge up front, blah blah blah. They're just selling you a bag of goods. It's again it's a whole rabbit, but a deep rabbit hole for that. But yeah, hanging out for a little bit. On the heels of that, we have our BDD course for active duty people. So recreated that. I'll show you real quick what's in there, what they get, and all those resources. So that's one thing I wanted to definitely do. I'm happy that we got that out. So I did a class yesterday. This coming week, we're doing our ACE or CMP class. So I'm really happy with how all this came out. So this is the course here. The link's in my bio. You could check it out for sure. But this is what it actually looks like to kind of give you a look. So when you get the course, there's a bunch of things there. Hey Wallace, straight up joined after one live. Vernon is my number one ace. Vernon is the cat's pajamas. So I have a team too. And again, I don't come on here on some hey, you know, just come to us only. You know what I mean? Like I don't people don't even know sometimes I have a company, which is a funny quick story. Someone had reached out, Wallace. They went to my link in bio, they signed up, they talked to a person, they sent me a message. They're like, "Hey, I talked to the guy on your page that you referred me to that company." And I'm like, "Oh man, that's cool. Who'd you got?" He's like, "I got David." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Do you think I should go with them?" I'm like, and then I realized very quickly he wasn't connecting that it's my company, and I'm like, David's kind of an asshole. And he's like, wait, what? I shouldn't work with him? I'm like, I'm shitting. David works for me. It's my staff. So when you go to our website, you can go to the About Us page at veteransnetwork.club. I don't have a fancy name. DP is just my initials. So I'm not Ninja Claims Are Us or anything like that. But if you go to our page for the About Us, you actually can see our team and see who they are, see what their backgrounds. We got two prior VSRs. Picked up another VSR, so I have a current VSR. We picked up another VSR who worked at the VA, and I have a VSO, and we picked up another retired VSO. And Brian actually he went to law school, so it's crazy like the conversation behind the scene because we get it from all angles. But you see the background, you see who they are. You can kind of get a little quick bio, and I like this because, for example, one of our advisors, she's rated for MST. We talked to a lot of veterans who have MST. And let's say you just don't feel comfortable on like, hey, who am I going to talk to? I want you to have choice because in the claim space, you don't get choice. So here you don't get this whole automated through a system assembly line bullshit. Um, Somebody asked me about another company earlier, and I get a lot of those things, and I don't really like to talk about other people. Um, but it was interesting because it's like I'm not against a veteran's options. Do your due diligence, find who can meet you where you're at. But some of these bigger companies, sometimes you just feel like you're going through an assembly line. It becomes a very automated process. And I've talked to people. I'm like, what did you get for what you paid? And you don't really get that. Whereas here, if you're working with Amy, guess what? That's your ace. So I love what Wallace said on TikTok. He said straight up, join after one of your lives. Vernon is my number one ace, and Vernon actually is our chaplain. So we have he's also retired from the life insurance world, and he is a chaplain as well. So he's our chaplain in our organization and an advisor as well. It took him 32 years to file his claim and get to that. But again, if that speaks to you and it's like, you know what, I want someone with that pedigree, that background, I just feel a connection there that works. But above him, you see Maria, and she's actually a military spouse, but she's also a nurse currently. So maybe you want that angle. So my whole point is like, it's just about options for me. And I think for some people that really matters. So I love that you say that, Wallace, because it speaks to my KPIs for my organization, in the sense of like what are the key performance indicators. It's literally things like that, right? For you to be able to say Vernon is my ace, right? He's my number one person. Like, think about that. When do people say things like that in a claim space, right? It's a whole lot of, well, I got an email from someone and I don't know who I'm dealing with, or I got like a coach and then I got transferred to another coach, and yeah, to each their own. But I just asked. I recently got a 35. Um, I just got recently asked. Jay said, um, I just got asked recently for 3,500 bucks up front, and I was like, "Are you dumb?" Oh my god, yeah, you can't make it up. Like, first of all, I don't even know what we're gonna do. I don't even know if we have options to do something. I don't even know what's the battle plan. And you're trying to, have me come out of pocket. First of all, I ain't even got it. And for some veterans, I'm not counting your pockets, but it's like I don't even got it up front. I'm trying to file this claim to try to at least, get something going. And what's my guarantees of getting something or being successful, or much less being able to, uh, be successful in that process. But this was literally uh, this was you, Jay, when you got that. When you got that, when they told you to go ahead and pay up front, he literally hit him with this right here. He he said, "Are you dumb?" Oh, we are unhinged. That is too funny. My man Jay said, "Yo, are you dumb? What are you smoking right now?" I'm literally just trying to keep it together. So again, that's I just went down that rabbit hole of the crew because I like that. Um, but here, for example, I want to highlight for sure our BDD course that we have for active duty people. So I want to just quickly run through that. So if you know someone active duty or you're leaving active duty, this is a great course, not just because we say it is, but it actually gives you some pretty cool stuff. And I'll show you what it is. Specifically, this is what the course looks like. So it's mobile, it's on desktop, however it works for you. We got 10 modules in there. They're all video modules. So I redid everything. Welcome to your BDD claims, understanding the BDD process, gathering your medical evidence and records, strategically selecting what to file. Labels matter: direct, secondary, presumptive, the bigger picture of how you're filing for things. Presumptives and PAC Act that cover why you should get a sleep study while in service, making the most of your separation health assessment, how the VA decides your claim, and steps before you take, resources, quick links, and I have some bonus materials specifically, as you can see here behind me, and I'll zoom in. I actually give you a records gathering checklist. Biggest question from active duty people: what do I do? How to get my records? Boom, got you covered. A strategic condition planner, statement writing template, separation health assessment prep sheet, along with top rookie mistakes to avoid, a quick CMP guide. And it's not just a little bit a go by of some cheap crap. I'm talking about, hey, if I'm going to go to that, hey, how do I fundamentally help you to do something? Section 1 intro. What exactly is in my statement? Not just randomly, hey, copy and paste this. We don't do that, right? Military, what's to go by? Give me a template. Give me an ability to understand functionally what I'm doing. So that's an example there, right? Or a records gathering checklist. Hey, what am I going to gather? So here are some things to start the process, as well as from there, a strategic conditioning planner. Hey, what are my conditions? How are they? I'm going to list them. Then from there, after I do my drain dump, I'm going to go through the process in details of understanding, hey, how am I going to file for these things? How do they rank as far as how they affect me and so forth? So again, being strategic, being smart about how we're doing these things. So for example, is it aggravation or is it direct to service? This matters. How we're assessing it. Is it low, medium, or high? So it gives the whole breakdown and you work through the worksheet there appropriately. A CMP quick exam checklist there, a separation health assessment prep sheet, and then some top rookie mistakes to avoid as well. And the biggest thing is that you have the ability to go through all this stuff with time, because the whole concept here is you're going to leave service, so you have the ability to do this with time. And again, I also touch on how this is to get you from, I don't know, it's, what time is it here? Past a certain time. It's 11 o'clock, so we can, we can do veterans after dark. But a lot of veterans, they're like, man, I don't know shit about fuck. I hate that term. On my team, people use that sometimes. But some folks like, look, I don't know shit about fuck, and that's okay. Actually, let me. So where do I start? What do I do? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this will give you the foundation again of all those things. And when you go to the page here, it'll tell you all the things you get. So again, like you see right here behind me, all the lessons that are in there, along with what the lessons are. So again, welcome to BDD, understanding what it is, why it matters, understanding the BDD process, timelines, eligibility, rules, myths, gathering your records, the exact records, military, civilian, and so forth. So you have an understanding of how I go from I don't know anything to how to file a successful claim. So you have time to do this, whether you're in the 180 to 90 day window or you're a year out from retirement or separation. Once we get that done, then we can discuss the CMP. Because for some people, like, hey, what do I do with my CMP? I'm like, dude, you don't even have a claim in. Calm down. So um, I just got a CMP next week for migrants appointment. So now, Oscar, great point. So now, once this gets done, back to options. Let's say now someone says, "Hey, I want to, I get that done. Great. ACE or BDD, that's the course for that." But let's say, for argument's sake, now you're like, I already submitted it. Now, how do I get ready for the CMP? Because I do a soft, touch point for the CMP, but then I have a whole course for that specifically. So in HUCMP, which I teach the live classes every other week, this coming week I do a live one, but sometimes you can't make it to my live class. We created an on-demand course for you too. So for the on-demand course, you literally have this. So in your case, Oscar, I just got a CMP appointment next week for migraines and carpal tunnel. So this is what the CMP course looks like. Because again, resources. So on that side of the house, you got 5 modules, right? A welcome and intro as to what is the CMP, understanding CMP exams, bad CMP exams, and what to do, tips, do's, don'ts, understanding DBQs and the CFR. I actually show you how to pull up DBQs. I show you how to read the CFR in there, again, for what you're filing. Why prep matters with stats. I give you a bonus module in there for mistakes, common mistakes to avoid. And then I have a series of different bonuses there too. One being, for example, a CMP exam prep checklist, a symptom breakdown, quick reference guide, how to write a statement for a bad CMP exam, and CMP exam red flags. So that information is in there as well for you. So again, different things that I think really matters, and they're all pretty much the same quality that I think really matters, right? So all the things I think just really would help someone when it comes to that, right? So a few things there that I think are pretty cool. But yeah, for those that have a CMP coming up, that link's in my bio as well. You can check that out. And there. So let's see. What's up, everybody else? Let me catch up on some questions. Okay, let's see. Shout out to the benefit advisor that worked with. She was amazing. For sure. Awesome. Who did you work with? Appreciate you, Poppy SK. Shout out to VNCC. Those who will see my comment, don't fork for Claim Shark. VNCC is the real deal. And that takes time. You know what I mean? Like, one of the biggest things for me, and I appreciate you, brother, for saying that, is it's a slower process for us in the sense that, being in the space for 7 years, you just can't make up the stuff that we've created over time and doing all this stuff the way we have. But it matters, right? Because if you just try to get somebody like Jay said on Instagram, it's like, man, I got. And someone was trying to ask me for some, money up front, but I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Or I paid and, I never got in contact with anybody, whatever. Well, in a case like this, you had a good experience, right? And again, back to my whole point of even who we are, right? So like in his case, Amy's amazing. Yes, she is amazing. She literally worked at the VA. She herself is MSC rated and was a VSR and then moved on to do other things. So my point is, like, real people with real backgrounds, not just some mysterious random pseudonyms that you don't even know who they are, which again, to each their own, but real people, right? Not just saying like, oh, we're veterans helping veterans. Like, no, who are you as a veteran, right? But check. Brian's in the building. Oh, Brian's in the building as well. So you see him on TikTok side of the house. Brian Lofton, one of my senior advisors. Okay, let's see. What if your doctor orders X-ray during CMP? Is it good or bad? And that's fine. This is, again, there's a holistic picture of what has to be they're trying to ascertain. So, like, I'm a 9/11 responder. I'm a combat veteran as well. I'm medically retired from law enforcement, so I also worked with Homeland Security, and I'm also an adjunct professor. So I actually taught. I don't actually really talk too much about what I do or I've done because I don't really think that I'm that important, but it matters for context. So I said to say that when I had to do my claims many years ago, because of being at Ground Zero in New York City and then burn pits in Iraq and all different things, my lungs are I'm on a few different registries is my point I'm trying to get at. and I had to do a whole bunch of exams for my claim. So I had to do an X-ray, and I had to do, a pulmonary function test and a general exam. Like that's all part of the holistic picture of what they were trying to do. So sometimes there are specialized exams and things they're doing for you. So it's not so much as a good or bad as they're just trying to get a full picture of what you got going on. So it's just part of the process. So go through it, go with it. It's just again X-rays. Okay. Let's see. Yep, concur with Brian. That's all they need, additional criteria information, just so they can narrow out things. Yep, 100%. So it's all about trying to ascertain the things that are needed. Just got a VA rating. I'm happy with the decision. Thanks for the tips. Henry, what's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Let's see. What's up, everybody else? But yeah, hanging out for a little bit. But that's the biggest thing. Our ACE Your BDD Claim course is out, so definitely check that out. All these links are in my bio. The course is 87. The CMP course is 67. And the live class that I do is 47. But you get you have a lot more resources on the course because you're doing it at your own pace, right? The live classes I liked only because those, if you can make it, they're more interactive, so it's always different because we have a group setting and there's people with different questions and it's a live Q&A, so you get that aspect. So different strokes for different folks, right? But definitely check that out. If you know someone, share the content. If stuff's been helpful, let them know. And it's part of creating things that people have asked, right? I love teaching classes live. I said I'm an adjunct professor. But not everybody can make it to live class. So what do we do for those that can't make it, right? Or if someone active duty. And this whole course actually came because, full disclaimer, I had a whole "you're a hypocrite" moment. So, we have veterans that sometimes reach out to us and will work with us one on one, like Poppy SK said. But there was one time where a few we won't work with active duty folks. Like I don't think there's any need for you to kind of have to work with us or do anything like that. You probably just need a few bits of information, get ready for the exams, just some basics. And then someone basically said, so the same VA that screws people that you work with after they leave service is going to take care of me. And I'm like, well, it's kind of the same VA. So next thing you know, I was like, well, we should probably do something for the active duty people. But what do we do? Because I don't think they need advisory. They don't need some, contingency if you win your claim, pay us. Like, I don't believe that they need any of that stuff. So that is that's what created this concept of saying, let's create something to give them a framework. What are the questions that I'm having? What are the questions that I get from people? And a lot of them come from the place of, I don't know what I'm doing. What do I do? Like the basics type of stuff. So that's where ACE Navigating BDD came from, the course. Create that course, and from there, that solved a lot of problems for people. So people would do the course, and sometimes they'll book a call or come to a class, and we'll kind of brush up on some things. That's all you need, and we've been very successful with that. And then we launched the CMP course because people needed an on-demand version of that. And then in doing all that, it's like, all right, I'm going to update the BDD course, right? Because I had done that one live. So, you get better as you go forward. And this ACE Your BDD thing is not because, hey, let me create something just because I want to, but rather these are active duty people reaching out who are either getting got by companies or signing up for things they don't need. I'm like, you don't need that. You have time to do this right. You can pace yourself, go through the course, get as much questions, as much information as you can, come to a live class, and then from there, literally, you can be very successful. And we have had many veterans, active duty folks, who've transitioned successfully and done very well in understanding how to file, why they're filing, doing things right, preparing themselves to exit service. So this course is not a emergency kind of course. Like Oscar, I got a CMP next week for migraines and carpal tunnel. What do I do? Running in circles. Get the CMP course, right? Because that one is hey, you got the exam, and that's why I did it, because I teach like this coming Wednesday, I'm teaching my CMP class, and then the following Wednesday. So every Wednesday I teach a class. One Wednesday CMP, one Wednesday navigating claims, and so on and so on. But if my next class is not till Wednesday, and Oscar has a CMP on Monday, how does that help? So over the weekend, I'm getting messages nonstop. My inbox never stops. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like it's all over the place. And then, YouTube, all the things. So what do I do, right? And so we have to create an on-demand version for people to be able to do what they need to do. So Oscar reaches out to me. I'm like, dude, class ain't till Wednesday. Come to class. It'll be good for you. But my CMP's on Monday. What do I do? So that's what created then an on-demand CMP course. So I'm saying all that to say that for me, it's about, hey, we're going to create a service or a product. It has to be in response to a need, not just to create some bullshit that just sounds cool or you're trying to capitalize on the fad, right? Um, like I'm testing right now some different like AI things. One of my masters is in digital forensic and cybersecurity, so I've actually been using technology for a very long time. I understand it very intimately. I ran programs in the government, technology programs, so this is not foreign to me. And I see people have things out there. I made a video and someone's like, "Oh my goodness, you're hating on other people." I'm like, dude, I love tech more than anybody. My team could tell you. Like, I literally was like, "This is gonna be the future," and all the things. And I have plans, and I'm working through things, and I have ideas. I'm going to put some things out. So some of our next offerings are going to be AI related for our active duty people and our veterans as well. But my biggest thing is I don't like the everything solves everything. Like, this is a great course. Oscar, you can't make it to class? Get this course. Trust me, I'm telling you, it's good. But maybe someone says, dude, I can't do technology, man. I just want to be in a class. I teach a live class. Come to that one. I'm leaving active duty. What can I do? Take that course. So my point is, or hey, I've tried. I just need some one-on-one help. I want to work with you guys directly. Okay, but you'll never hear me try to push like one specific thing only. And my problem is like we'll create something for AI, but how does that help my 80-year-old veteran? Like, that's not gonna help him. Like, I love it worked for you, millennial, Gen Zer, but not so much for somebody else. So my whole point is we should have a suite of options for people to where if you're techie and AI works for you, have at it. We have something that's good for you. And it's created uniquely. Like one of my thought processes that I was talking today to my team behind the scenes is we have the ability to do something that many people can't do. Like, I could spin up an AI thing right now, release it, and do all kinds of cool shit. But it's more to it than that, right? Parameters and having things that is being made off of a knowledge base that we're creating. So on our side, I have so much effing content. Literally, you can go down this page and you will go back forever. Like, on YouTube, I have like 1,000 videos. Here, I don't even know how many I have on TikTok, for example. So there's so much content. Not only that, but all my classes that I do, I record those too. So there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of hours that can be funneled and captured and transcribed into our version of technology. So basically, everything that I would tell you, we can start to put that into technology. So it's not just like, oh, I'm using AI and ChatGPT gave you an answer. Yes, gave you an answer based off all the shit online that it picks up. Whereas what we would put out is actually giving you information based off what I would have told you, what my team would have done on top of the internet. So now you have parameters, right? Like, we answer things this way. This is created this way, very unique to us. So it's not just like a random thing that's just doing a Google search, because sometimes even some of those things are off, and I've seen it. Wallace, no, not something that we have. I'm toying around with like maybe the courses and things like that as far as having something on the referral side. For me, it's just I just feel kind of weird sometimes with that because it becomes then sometimes very transactional. But people have asked if there's like a referral program, and now that we have courses, we have the ability to have a referral type of thing, But I want to do it in a way that's honest and not feels like, oh goodness, now you're just trying to get people to sell your stuff for you. You know what I mean? Because it's a you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. People think what they're gonna think, right? But that question has come up, and I think for sure it's an incentive, and I think it's great to get it out there. So I think I probably would deploy a referral thing based off the courses that we have because we have those options now. So those are my initial thoughts for that. But yeah, I'm looking at that and our new platform because like all these courses actually live on our website. So when you go to veteransnetwork.club, you see a little login thing, and that's where you'll have access to all the courses and things that you have purchased, etc. So as we have more offerings and things, it all lives on the website. You have access to it, and it gives us the ability to also do things like, to your question, referrals and things like that. So yeah, yep. Let's see. What else is going on, good people? Um, Tomorrow I'm thinking I might probably go a little bit earlier, but definitely wanted to at least pop back in today as I said I would. But if you have questions, feel free to pop them in there. Before we wraps. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, Henry's dad. A win is a win. I like wins. Wins are good. I don't put, and I post some of that stuff on our Instagram page on our BNCC Instagram page. So I'm playing around with that stuff too. Because sometimes it's cool to share wins and share some stories of success things that have happened, etc. So definitely looking into those things too. But yeah, it's good. But this is what we have: Acer BDD. It is relaunched. So tell a vet, tell a friend, tell active duty folk to get that. And there's about two more things I'm going to add to the course as well. So you have lifetime access when you get the course. That's the biggest thing. So you have access forever. So those that bought navigating BDD claims, they got the upgrade to Acer BDD claims. As we add more things, they'll be added to the course, and you get access to all that and upgrades, etc. So that's pretty cool. I like the fact that we can push updates and changes and things like that. So definitely looking forward to that, and sharing some of that stuff with you all. So pretty cool things there. But yeah, Acer BDD is 87, and the Acer CMP is 67. So for context there. And again, just because of the size of the course and different things that are in there. So I think you guys will be very pleased with that. But lifetime access, I know that question comes up a lot too. How long do I have it for, etc. I used to have, we used to do a lot of swag and had a whole bunch of stuff. It became very overwhelming. We had a bunch of different things. So now, we kind of rebuilt everything from scratch. One of the organizations that I partner with, they have a whatchamacallit. They do merch and they can do stuff for us. So we've had like hoodies and different things like that. So that's something that is kind of on the back burner. So I haven't really pushed it too much because it becomes information overload sometimes. But yeah, hit up Amy. We'll get you something for sure. We definitely have some BNCC hoodies and different things, so we could definitely start looking into that. Um, yeah, that'll be something that we'll add to the website too at some point once we kind of systematically get things in place. So the focus for me now has become more, let's solve problems, and then we'll get some kind of cool stuff out there too, because we all like some swag and merch. So I get it. But the folks that make it for us, they're veterans as well, and have a shop, and they're out of Michigan. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you'll see like some of my older videos. I'm always wearing some kind of hoodie or something like that. So that's some of the stuff that we have. But yeah, we could definitely square you away with that. We could order stuff on the back end, but it's just not up on the front side because that's a whole different level of effort. But we'll get there. We shall get there. All right. Let's see. Any alibis? I'm not gonna hang out too long. Just kind of popping in and doing some more of these. Tomorrow I'll probably come in a little earlier. But if you have questions, feel free to pop them in. Amy can square you away for sure, and we'll get you some swag. Just give her a note and just let her know that I mentioned it, and we'll hook it up. Hook it up. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's see. Let me see on the Twitter side. It's always interesting. Like I can see people there, but the comments never really come over, so that always throws me off. And I don't know sometimes if it's just the way it kind of comes across. Not too sure, but let me do a test. Because, let's see. Hello. Test. But I think it works. We'll see. Oh, actually it does. There you go. So yes, that does work. It's just weird sometimes. Sometimes like some of the comments come across. Like I can't pull comments from TikTok, but hey Chevelle. But I can pull comments from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. I just want to test to make sure that worked, so that's good. What is going on, Chevelle? Let's see. If I have TDIU, can I get it reversed? And is it easy? Why would you get it reversed? So give me some context. What do you mean? Do you currently have TDIU? Are you trying to come out of TDIU? Are you trying to go for PNT and get out of the TDIU thing so you don't have the income cap? What's the rationale there? How do I actually file for a secondary claim, Massa? So basically, the argument, simply put, is you are arguing that something service connected caused something else that you didn't connect in service. So let's just make it simple. You have a left knee that you injured in service. You had proof. You filed it. You got rated for it. You overcompensated, and your right knee got worse over time because of the left knee. So now you're arguing that your right knee is due to this left knee that is service connected. And depending on how far removed from service you are and what your medical records look like, if they're enough to paint the picture, and the argument can be made they're soundly good. Sometimes this is where you can see things like a nexus letter or medical opinions to help bridge the gap. So what you're fundamentally saying is, I have a right knee condition that didn't start in service, but it actually was made worse or caused because of my left knee situation. That in turn is how I'm filing it. Or I have PTSD that has caused me migraines. So I'm saying that migraines is due to my PTSD. So you're actually saying, like, what's the line of thought that you're actually doing to connect that? But the issue becomes for any veterans, right? There's not a lot of medical paperwork trail. So the continuity of care is lacking sometimes for veterans. So we don't have things to be able to connect or show proof of. And this is where you have medical providers and companies that do provide medical opinions. And what you're trying to do basically is piece together, right, what you've given them. So you're saying, hey, I have this mental health condition and I have this migraine. I'm trying to connect the migraine to the mental health. That's the argument I'm making, but my medical evidence is not as strong or doesn't indicate it, or my medical provider doesn't want to, connect one to the other. So that's where a medical opinion will come in, to help with that. But that fundamentally is how you're making that argument, right? You're saying something service connected caused another thing. So you're arguing it secondary. Let's see. Trying for TDIU, but what if I get if I get better and I want to get a job in the future? You can always come out of TDIU, Jonathan. So some people go into TDIU for a period of time. They can still file claims and potentially go into PNT and just be 100% scheduler. That is possible. It happens many a times. But you can come out of the TDIU program at any time if something, to your point, changes. And I think that is the honest way to look at it. So if you know for a fact that, hey, things have changed and now you potentially are going to exceed your income cap, come out the program and you just go back to your old rating. No harm, no foul. There's no like just not like a bad boy. You know what I mean? Not a thing. So yeah. Be denied my supplemental while acknowledging my nexus letter, getting a lawyer, rocket. Yeah, so and check your, check to Brian's point, you can actually appeal using HLR. That's the first thing there. So I would say, because again, people like, I'm gonna go get a lawyer. Well, first of all, what's the lawyer gonna do for you? What's the argument here? To Brian's point, um, you were denied. They didn't acknowledge what was there, right? So was it listed on your decision letter as evidence? Did in turn they say, hey, that wasn't weighted in, etc.? Because sometimes they'll just outright not even list it, right? So there's a few ways to look at it. But if the evidence was there and they just didn't weigh it in, that could be a higher level review. Brian, for example, has been very successful lately. Again, he has a legal background, so he loves getting real detailed when it comes to all these appeals. And we've been very successful with HLRs. So, you know, those are some things there, not listed at all. Yeah. So again, you have some cosmetic things there that can for sure be pushed back on. Of like, hey, this was submitted. I'm pushing back on this, right? Um, but yeah, Brian, for example, who responded to you there on my crew, um, has done quite a few of them. Actually, we've had a few recently. A lot of HLRs that just came back recently. About the ETS, what's the best advice? I have a bad back, left knee. Aladdin, honestly, the best thing I can give you is this course that you literally see here. Um, and more so because, again, to your point, right? You are about to ETS, right? I don't know how far off you are, what your time frame is, but this is going to cover literally all the things for you to appreciate to follow, all that you need. So you got 10 modules, you got some bonus materials to your point, and actually we'll show you specifically in here. So again, Understand the VA claim process, module one, gathering your evidence and service records, strategically selecting what to file, getting labels right. What are labels? Direct to service. What does that mean? What are secondaries? What are presumptives? I talk about presumptives and PAC Act in there. I cover sleep studies. I cover how to make the best of or the most of your separation health assessments as you leave service, how the VA decides your claim, and final step before you submit, and resources there to include bonus materials. And bonus materials you get in there, you get a records gathering checklist, you get a strategic condition planner, you get a statement writing template, a separation health assessment prep sheet, a top rookie mistakes to avoid, and a quick exam guide. And it looks like this. So you have time to start looking at that. Like to your point, hey, how do I write my thing? How do I do all these different things there? This will be perfect for you, Aladdin, because again, you can work through this stuff. And just to give you an example, what are you going to gather? What are you going to start doing? To your point, how do I actually file to what I file? How am I going to do this, right? So this walks you through. So you got video modules and you have bonus materials as well that really, give you access to all these different things. And you have lifetime access. So that's like what I'm really excited to talk about because we relaunched it. So this is Ace Your BDD Claim. And the whole concept here being it's, you're able to ace your BDD claim. The course is $87 and you have the ability to literally go at this because you have time. So it's not like you're doing it tomorrow. You have the ability to literally work through it. You can get through the course in about an hour and change, and then you have the materials to actually sit down. Okay, what am I statement writing? What am I going to file for? What are some things to avoid? What are some things I need to do? How do I do these things? And you have literally go bys. So that's what I would say. 100%. Literally, that's why I put effort into this, because everything that I would tell you, I've literally told it to you here. I'm telling it to you here rather, and you have resources. And again, even in here, these are all whatchamacallit. I got like a log back in. They're all whatchamacallit, video modules and all the different things there. So that is all available to you. So some food for thought there. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me just log into this thing. I have to reset all the cache because I had all these tabs open. So I was like, oh, this is taking all my memory. Let me fix that. Okay. And what is my code? Okay, good. All right, so we got, and then show me the product. Perfect. Okay, I think, okay, there we go. So specific for you, once you're in there, like I said, you have access to all that. So you have video modules and you have a bunch of different things. So you actually see me walking through stuff, explaining it to you there. So those are things that I would definitely recommend for you, Aladdin. Okay. HLR is claiming 2 years. Try. Let's see. I did an HLR and then my supplemental. Yeah, and you can go back and forth rocket. So you can do a HLR, then a supplemental, then back to HLR. So it's like a ping pong game. But then before doing anything else, also we have to look at what are the denial letters. What exactly is it that they push back on, and not just randomly. Hey, what do we do now? Well, first of all, let's see what have we done. What did we do? What we do? Why did we do what we did? And then what makes sense moving forward to craft an argument for the appeal, right? And what do we need to get right to make a solid argument, for sure. But we see that quite often. We had one of our veterans. It took him like 3 years to get his migraines service connected, and the VA was just getting it wrong, which is a whole nother, thing. But a few back and forth, and he was able to get it for sure. So yeah. Alrighty. So yes, I'll add in the course for you for sure. And then let's see, what is everybody else up to? What's up to the people on Twitter world and YouTube? Bum 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 bum. Okay, let's see. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in as I start to wind it down. Um, Tomorrow, come in a little bit earlier, so that'll be good. Catch some folks on the different time zone there. Let's see. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Post deployment health assessment helped me out a lot, military Mike. Yes, for sure. And that comes in very handy. On this side of the house, where is it? For our folks, the separation health assessment for the active duty people, kind of similar. It's like the deployment health assessment. These things are golden. They come in very handy. And sadly, a lot of folks just don't put time to do that. But shout out to you, military Mike, because I agree. Those assessments, and again, people get off deployment, they leave active duty, and it's like, look, I'm out. I just want to be done with this stuff. But you're missing a very key thing, because even the things you put in there, even if you don't file for it now, you create that paper trail, and that comes in handy down the road when you're looking at potentially, filing for something else, or being able to point back to, hey, excuse me, on my period of service or active duty or deployment, what have you, these are some things I experienced. These are some things that I complained about. They were mild or minor, mild or minor, but now they're not. Now they're much more pronounced. So here we are. So agreed. I like that. Let's see. But yeah, but pretty cool things for sure that are in the works. The link in my bio is where you'll find a lot of these different things. So it looks a little something like this. Check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Rocket, if you want to talk, for example, to the team, you can literally go to the website, veteransnetwork.club, um, and talk to Brian or send him a DM as well, and have an assessment call to kind of see where he's at, where you're at, and get some perspective. But you have the ability to literally come down here and you can see all the courses that we have and available things that we do. So whether it's the live CMP class coming up next week, the on-demand course, or the BDD, Acer BDD course that's there, you can click on it and literally grab it and pick it up from there. When you go to veteransnetwork.club, you'll know you're there because it'll look a little something like this. And you can book an assessment call right there on the little button, or you can click on the About Us page and check the team out. So if you want to talk to Brian or Amy or company, you can literally read a little bio on them and then connect with them, and then boop, off you go. So you click on Brian, get a little more information, see what he's about, blah blah blah, and then information, submit, and he will get with you. Pretty easy. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's how we get to these things. Okay. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. And on the link in my bio, to find like the main website too, literally on the icons on top, you'll see like the social media icons. The last one to the right will take you to the website as well if you click on that. So little fun fact. Military medical profiles helped a lot. Yeah, for sure. And that's, again, it's for those that can have that paper trail is good. But if you don't have it, or for example, you didn't get things done, it doesn't mean it's impossible. It is definitely possible. It's just a little more work has to go into, crafting the argument for the claim. That's all. But if you have it, if you're active duty and you have the ability to do these things, take these steps. It'll make a world of difference For sure. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Any alibis that folks may have? Feel free to pop those in. El Pollo, what's up, my brother? Let's see. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I'm now past 90 days from ETS. Had a base VSL file for me, but I've gotten zero updates from anyone. Have you verified that it was submitted in time? Not quack. Because for you right now, then the focus becomes, um, what you call it, the CMP exam. How many things did you file for? Let's see. Yep, yep, yep. I'm just catching up on some messages here. Let's see. Um, jump share. Yeah, so for you, I think you just popped in a point before I don't even have to type it out. Pretty simple to jump ship. You can terminate contract with whoever you had before, and yeah, I was really just reading it, so I just was kind of going through as it slowed down here. But yeah, 70% with a vet guard and PTSD up to two appeals took roughly 2 years check. So on your side, yeah, you can terminate contract. You won your thing. The biggest thing for the companies like that is, you let's say you went for that increase, leaving that contract mid claim is the shady part. But you won your claim, you're done, and now you want to go somewhere else. That's definitely your prerogative. So for you, literally, it's just more. You just talk to one of my advisors, and we can do an assessment, kind of see what you got going on, and then explore other potential avenues because you have the PTSD locked down, and now it's hey, are there secondaries or other things that we can look at? So there are some things there for sure to get that there. So I would say for sure an assessment call, El Pollo would be the way to go. When you go to my website, link in my bio, you'll see our website there has a little link to the far right. You click that, it'll take you here. You can literally just click on book an assessment call, or you can click on the about us and literally scroll down and see who you can talk to. So, for example, in the chat right now, I got Brian, who has the username of Vetyanasa. You can see who he is, one of my senior advisors. My whole crew is 100% disabled. I got one civilian who's a nurse who's married to an active duty disabled veteran herself. Two VSRs, two VSOs. Brian has a legal background, so a very cool crew, and everybody's amazing for sure. But my big thing is more so the fact that you have options across the board of like what you feel comfortable with. But you can literally just go to the main page, just click on book an assessment, and we'll get with you. But look around. But that's what I would say for you specifically, based on what you got going on, right? You can go ahead and say, hey, I won my claim, I paid my bill, I'm done here, I'm gonna go forward and do great things by myself now. And then have a call with the crew on this side and kind of get an assessment to see which ways to go forward, and we proceed. Pretty simple. Let's see, not quite, I believe 18 things. Lots of general joint pain damage. Major things are sleep apnea, TBI, PTSD, migraines, all already diagnosed. So on your side, not quack, I would say for sure now for you, this course I would not recommend to you because your claim is already in. For you, I would actually focus on ACE, your CMP exam course, whether it's a live version of the class that I teach or the on demand one. Links are on my bio for these things. But you have access to kind of go at this at your own pace too, because now you're waiting, right? You're waiting for them to call you. And on your side, this is what it looks like for the CMP exam course specifically. So I cover in 5 lessons here. Welcome, intro, why is important, understanding CMP exam, bad exams, how to recognize them, tips, do's, don'ts, understanding DBQ, CFR, to actually show you how to do all that, why preparation matters, a common mistake module, and I also have a lot of bonus materials here. So, for example, a CMP exam prep checklist, a symptom breakdown, how do I speak to my symptoms, a quick reference guide, how to write a statement if you get a bad CMP, red flags for the said CMP, So those things are there, and all the templates, etc. They all kind of look like this. So they're done thoughtfully. So you have a lot of information that there is available for you, and a few pages there for that. So some things to consider for you specifically, not Quack, on the um, CMP side of the house is what I would definitely recommend. And you'll see, like, even there, like, I literally will walk you through how to like look at DBQs. What is the CFR? And I literally bring it up and I actually show you, how to look it up in there too. So you have the ability to kind of really get, a good understanding of how these things work. So all that stuff is there available. Um, See, and that's a so Apollio, and again, I answered the question you asked. Hold on for a second. Someone else had asked a question, and that's kind of why I answered back to your question the way I did, where I'm not against any organization, but I do feel that sometimes bigger companies, etc., they make you feel like a number. You to your point, right? Again, I'm not the one saying this, so I don't like to, I don't want to be that dude just talking shit on people, even though I have receipts to talk shit all day. But that's not really my focus. Um, but you are telling me that you went to this company and you felt like a number. They did paperwork right. They got you to 70, but you felt they hardly guided you and you just got a phone call. And I'm over here saying, like, hey, like, for example, the CMP course that I'm telling, not Quack, if you're working with us, I teach a live class. So in teaching the live class for our CMP, like, let's just say, for example, Polio, that you're working with, like, Nayeli just jumped into the chat. I have Brian and Nayeli, so both of them are on my team, right? So I'm just gonna paint you a picture real quick. So let's just say you are with Brian or Nayeli or company, what have you. Doesn't really matter because they're all amazing. You literally are with them. That's your point of contact. That's your person you're working to, right? Not just a series of emails and a phone call. That's your guy. That's your gal, right? But then we work together. We're always talking and working behind the scenes. So I don't get involved in your case specifically because I'm, running the company, but I teach all our classes. So this coming week, for example, I teach our live ACE CMP. People can pay to come to a class, but if you're working with us, you come to all the classes I teach. So you have, for example, your advisor who's working with you one on one, but then you have our group dynamics. And then while it's great, think about right now, like not Quack's gonna ask something that you didn't even think about. So you get the group dynamic aspect of coming to a class. I'm teaching it live, and based off your questions and what's going on, we're going back and forth, right? So for some people, that's very powerful. So I say a lot to say that that's a very personal service that I just don't think some other organizations um, focus on doing. And for me, that matters. So when I look at things like the services that we have, I believe in that. Like if you're active duty, boom, we created a course. I'm not saying you have to work with us directly. Take the course, then you're off to good to go. But in your case, if you're looking at, hey, I want more, because to your point again, and this is the part that I always see this. So I've talked to a lot of people who've gone to these companies, and it's like, okay, you went there, you won your claim, but you to your point, you just said it, you felt like a number, and they did the paperwork, you got it, but I felt like they hardly guided me. So, like, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, you paid for a result, but you didn't necessarily have all the bells and whistles. And for me, it's like if we're gonna work with us, or ideally work with someone, you want them to meet you where they're at, right? You want to feel like not a number, but hey, that's my guy. Like earlier, you missed it. Um, Someone was talking about Vernon, and they said Vernon is my ace. He's my number one guy, right? And that means something. Or a little earlier, someone said something about working with Amy. And that matters because it's literally a who's your advisor. And I've talked to people who've gone to that organization, and I'm like, who did you work with? And it's like, I don't know. I just got an email. I just talk, but I don't have like a person who's assigned to me. I don't like that. You know what I mean? That's just my flavor. I don't like that. So for me, it's like, hey, when someone can say, hey, I work with Amy, they're amazing, or with Brian, or with Vernon, etc., that's building that relationship where you don't feel like a number. So that's what I think is very unique to what we do here. Yeah, no, the whole 9 yards, everything. So once you have an advisor, that's the whole point. Like it's literally the same thing. If we're gonna do a 5x situation, all of that, where it comes to decision letter review, when it comes to making sure paperwork is good to go, when it comes to live class, when it comes to CMP preparation. How do we help you? How do we strategize, right? We're going to assess, we're going to define the problem, we're going to begin to strategize which way is forward, and we'll help you execute. And if it means that we have to loop in our medical team that we network with, not a part of ours, so we know them and we network with them, or a psych team, or different things, we can align all those resources, right? So yes to all those questions, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, you have an advisor for a reason. Like that's your point person. So all those things, like if they're not doing that, then what the heck exactly are they doing? Paperwork at the multiple of what? No. So yeah, you get all that stuff, 100%. So review, advice. So you're not filing anything without having that pair of eyes of like, hey, no, don't do that thing. And the other part too here is, we'll push back. If you're gonna try to file some dumb stuff that makes no sense, like this is dumb, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna sugarcoat it either, right? You're gonna get the truth and nothing but the truth, and that tough love. So a good question, but I think again it speaks to what sadly some folks deal with, right? You got a result, you got the 70, but to your point, you felt like a number and you feel like you were pushed through a process, and that's not cool. Um, let's see. Bum 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 bum. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Check online. Got that. Looking right now. Shows no claim. Yeah, call them up, Quack, and find out. Because sometimes we've had veterans who have literally gone through this whole process. They thought the VSO submitted the claim, and guess what? Nothing was submitted, and they missed their window. We've seen that happen. Um, that's powerful because you can get different perspective, and that's also, yeah, for sure. The live components, you definitely get different perspectives, and that's always the most powerful part where that helps because you have that. Um, do you get okay? So we got that one. Should be good overall. Should I never submit on 10th? Okay. Okay. I feel I would be at 100 already with this type of support. They had me stumbling. And that's the whole thing. Like, again, I'm not, if you're going to pay someone for a high level ticket item, like, again, I put effort into this course for active duty people. But if you're going to work with us, you're going to work with us, right? Like, we're going to give you that undivided attention. That's the whole point of why you would pay for something um, like that type of service. So to your point, why would you be stumbling? You know what I mean? Like that to me just makes no sense, but I understand, right? Like people prey on desperation of a veteran and you'll just take what you can get. Like I'm not sitting here promising outlandish things and trying to, trigger you to do something. It's like, no, we're gonna be in a trench in the foxhole with you. But that's the whole point. I want veterans to feel that hey, these things are possible. Someone in our class yesterday came and they said, "Hey, I came into this class because yesterday I did our navigating VA claims, which is our basics class, and I kind of talk about what we do and how we do it." And they said, I'm leaving this class feeling hopeful again, like it's possible. And that's what it's all about. Leo, I'm at 94%. Man, look, that last little, push over. Sometimes it's like you're scrambling, man. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of that. You're almost there. Just gotta sneeze over one time. If he failed to submit, I missed the window. Would that be a nice complaint since he works on base? Again, there's ways they can get out of these things. Worst case scenario, but doesn't if the claim is not in, again, double check and make sure because it probably is just a thing where maybe it's not showing. But worst case scenario, that window's closed. Then what ends up happening is everything moves now to when you ETS. For all intents and purposes, you're not leaving service with everything done, but the claim can be submitted literally as soon as you exit, have everything ready, and it still gets backdated to the same time frame. The only problem is you're not doing it before you leave. It all ends up happening after you leave, right? You can put a complaint for sure on base as far as, hey, you're supposed to do a thing, you didn't do it. But there are recourses in place. But as far as materialistically, what really matters, which is what do you do then? It becomes then now, how do you fight it moving forward to make sure the claim is good to go? Um, okay. And I have to apparently add slots to my one-on-ones because someone requested that. Tracking. Results on the back end. Only if you win. So all these courses are upfront. Like this is $87 for this course. The CMP course 67. But on the advisory side, only if you win Pollo. So it's like the same, very similar setup, exact same setup as far as that is concerned. So it's contingent on if you win only. So as long as it takes to get you there, but nothing on the front end. So we don't do that for that level of advisory. We call it advisory. So advisory, you have an advisor. It's our elite upper level thing. But we're obviously, the cat's pajamas, and we're the best. We're the best. Let's see. Yep, same. Yeah, very similar. And again, we're all kind of part of a bigger organization. So we're in the process now with the Veterans um, Association of National Association of Veteran Rights. So that's kind of the model that we're modeling ourselves after, which is part of the Choice Act. So things like that on the back end, only if you win, lump sum discount stuff, very similar. So that's a very trade practice for organizations that operate like that. We don't like the upfront lump sum type of thing. That to me is weird. Again, but very similar. Bum 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 bum. What is veteransnetwork.club is the website. And I'm not sure if you can actually copy from chat, but there is the link. Do it again. Um, yeah, veteransnetwork.club, and you'll know you're there because you literally it'll look a little something like this. So veteransnetwork.club, and then look around, hit the menu, check the about us. When you go to the ACER VA claim section, that'll show the different service that we have there. So um, as far as like the courses and so forth, so the on demand and the live ones as well. And to talk to someone on my crew, just click on book an assessment call. Yeah, same thing. So installments, the whole 9 yards, same thing for you. Yes, indeedy. Let's see. Yeah, no, same exact thing. Like I said, very similar, very pretty much the very similar on a contractual part. So we all kind of adhere to that. The delivery of the services, that's where it gets a little bit different sometimes. Um, if they didn't file the BD, yeah, for sure. Like I said, for you, Quack, the biggest thing would be more um, looking at the CMP side of the house. So like with the claim already in, you go to like Acer VA claim. For you, it's the Acer BD, not Acer BD, rather Acer CMP anytime, anywhere. So that's the focus now. Now for you, it's hey, how do I actually get to get ready for the CMPs when they call me because the claim is already in. So that will be the focus for you, for sure. So I would say CMP for you. My issue was that I never really approached the VA for my symptoms because I had distrust for it. No, for sure, and that's again the whole point too, right? Like that's education. Like when I like this, there's like people sometimes ask like, why won't I teach a class or do certain things here live? I have to be very tame, right? Because I literally will get strikes for saying things. I start talking about medicine, medication, medical ailments, disabilities, certain things. You'd be surprised. You get strikes and you get moderated. You get things. So it's like you can sit here apparently in booty shorts and pop your cooch and whatnot, and that's all fine. But I talk about migraines or PTSD, and it becomes a problem. So it's for me like, okay, let's raise awareness, let's have conversations. But when I teach our classes and we do those type of things, um, we can go down that rabbit hole and to get you in a place to really understand, hey, how do I speak to these symptoms? How do I approach these things? Understanding, how to actually advocate for yourself, right? Not just I'm going to do this thing and off we go. No, nope. Okay, let's see. And then, because I brought it up earlier, on the CMP side, um, literally all the things there for you not quack are there. So you have 5 modules, a bunch of bonus materials, and all that stuff you can go and get ready for those exams. Understanding CMP, bad exams, what to do, how to report it, etc. Tips, do's, don'ts. Understanding CFR, DBQs, etc. Along with why preparation matters. And I have a common mistake video. Trigger warning because I get pretty unhinged apparently in that video. With a bunch of cool resources there that you get as well. Um, yeah, no, 100%. We don't share information, so it's all contractual, so it's all on the up and up. So don't sell your information. We don't spam or any of that kind of stuff. So everything is compliant. Exam prep checklist, symptom breakdown, quick reference guide, how to write a statement, and CMP red flags. So those are things there to keep in mind. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see. Ramel, so yeah, for sure. Again, being knight again, you're in the National Guard. That's that's really a decision you have to make as to one, is there a path forward? Are there things that could be filed? And if so, obviously long term, okay, you're in the guard now, but what are we really talking about, right? Short answer, yes, I would look into it if there's an argument to be made. Did my CMP last week on a med board. If I'm found fit for duty, how long is the rating good for? Well, it's all proposed stuff now, Gary, on your side. So as you're kind of being through this whole thing, if they're proposing it, usually it ends up being to where you're ending up on the separation type of stuff. So that all gets finalized as you leave service. If for whatever reason that doesn't happen, then that's not going to kick in because you're still active duty, so you can't have that. Okay. I just got the news yesterday. I'm officially 7%. Check. Gotcha, brother. Okay. Check. Um, Out next May regardless. So whenever you have to go. No, 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 no. It'll just be based because they won't release that stuff until your actual ETS time frame. But things may change again if they find that that's not a thing. So they may have to revisit certain things because again, next May next year, time passes. That can obviously you could be worse off. So that might change to a degree what they actually do release to you. Um, but yes, the link in my bio has all of this information along with our ACE Your BDD and ACE Your CMP course. So definitely check those out for sure. If you know someone, let them know. Um, but yeah, for sure. Like I said, check the page out. Have an assessment call. We kind of go from there. Options are good. That's the whole biggest thing there. Options go a long way. So I'm all for it. I like that. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty, good people. Let's see. Where are we on Old Time O? Any alibis that y'all may have, feel free to push those through as we get ready to wrap. Ace Your BDD is the course that is out, relaunched live. Get that $87. If your claim is already in, but you have a CMP coming up, go ahead and grab the Ace Your CMP course, which is live as well. Those links are in my bio. That's 67. This coming Wednesday, we're talking CMP live. So again, all that stuff is on my page, so you can look into that. And if you want to talk to someone on my team regarding your VA claim and see kind of what options would make sense for you, check us out. Click an assessment, look at the about us, check out the team, get some bio, read who they are, and then feel free to literally on our website click on book an assessment call and you can have an assessment call, and we'll be able to assess kind of where you're at. You're very welcome. Um, but those are the things I wanted to at least for sure cover. So, I don't want our people to not have options. So that's my biggest thing there. We like options. So we've created options. And again, the link in my bio, you'll see it has the different things that we have there. So grab those freebies that are there. We have a newsletter. Feel free to jump on to that. But the offers that are there, check those out. And at the very bottom, you'll see the Acer CMP along with the live and on demand version, as well as our BDD course. So, yeah. But I appreciate y'all hanging out for a little bit here. I think we're good. No questions across. Shout out to the crew on TikTok and the folks watching on YouTube and X, the Facebookers and the Instagrammers. Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow I'll pop back in. Tomorrow I'll probably come in a little bit earlier, so I might do something at lunchtime. Maybe we'll see after I go to the gym, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think we're clear. Appreciate y'all. And if I missed you, send a message, send an email, and we'll be chatting. Talk to y'all soon.